All right, so quick recap. My videos are now unpublished. There's no public videos on the YouTube channel, and this is a members only site. So, you know, they can't see anything on my YouTube channel anymore. And that's just how it is going to be, because what I've realized is that at this point in the game, they've had since 2016. This time last year, at this time in 2016, they've had since then until now to get their acts together, and some of them have not. Some of them have not. I've had my channel for a few years now, and still at this point, a small fraction of people have contributed to me. Small fraction. And you understand what the energy exchange is. So I thank you so very much about that. I really do. You stuck by me. You've listened to my information. You have time and time again thanked me for information that I've put out, that, stuff that videos I've made, whatever, the fact that I can have conversations with some of you, this is fantastic for me, and hopefully vice versa, that we can learn from each other. That's really it. That's really what it is, even though we have our own individual games. So, I just decided that, okay, these are people that feel that they're entitled to another source player's energy and information. And the reality is none of us were entitled to any information Judy gave us. We all know that inherently, that Judy did that. We were never entitled to that. She shared it. She shared the energy she won back, gave it back to us, and then she put out all that information for us to learn. Right? So there you go. But some people are entitled. Some people are entitled by nature. They have that entitlement to them. So that's fine. And they will begrudge another source player. But I am not in a position where I can just have source players who feel that they don't have to give energy back to another source player who's putting out information. I don't have bandwidth for that. And so that's where I just said, that's it. Cut it off right now. I'm cutting off that. It's like a tourniquet. That's it. The hemorrhage of energy is no longer. It's now for the people who get it. And that's it. So now let's talk about going forward. Now, I had told you guys a long time ago that I was going to make hypnosis videos, that I could hopefully help with some of the hypnosis videos that I personally had hypnosises that I had done for myself. The issue I have with me and why it has taken me so long is when I am reading a script and trying to record myself in an audio, it's a guarantee that I'm going to mess up. And then I end up restarting the whole thing. Instead of just going on and finding the error, and deleting it out, I tend to have a hard time. And it puts too much strain on my voice. So my point is that I have a script already written. This one's going to be like on inner child work and stuff like that. I already have the script. I am using AI to create a voiceover with my voice. I can clone my voice and make the voiceover. So that's what I'm looking to do in the next few days, to put that video together so that I can put it out for you guys and, do things like that, which is why I'm doing like a lot of experimentation with different AI tools like the music and all of that and stuff. And it's just opened up this whole creative world for me in the last month, to be quite honest, to see the capabilities of these tools. So that's really what I want to do, is do those for you. And they're going to be just for supporters. That's it, and I also wanted to share just my opinion on something. I know that this might seem like an unsettling. I know last week I kind of did a number on myself because there were a couple of different things piling up on top of me, as far as, accommodations and money and a bunch of different things. And I've since worked through my anxiety. It was one day, honestly, but I've worked through that nervous energy that was there about the the reset, the 3 days of darkness, and I've kind of like worked and come out of it. And I really, just want to reassure that we don't have to be worried or anxious. We're preparing, and that's the best thing. So if it's months from now, at the end of the day, you're prepared. You're prepared, right? That's it. But if you really take stock of things, I would say COVID was like really the turning point where things started to go wacky. I think that was like a major event in the game where things just were like, okay, things are kind of going south, and people's anxiety levels are going up, people being NPCs and lower frequency source players, and their anxiety, their mental health is declining. They're acting more erratic. You've seen, like, if you pay attention to anything, if you don't, that's great. Don't start paying attention now. Keep it out of your peripherals, okay? Seriously, because like I see stuff on TikTok and on social media, and I see how crazy they are, like just the unhingedness of people in general, and just it's just going it's going south. It's going way south. Like the polarization of people in every aspect, politically, racially, gender, everything, like everything. There's just no middle ground anymore with anything with these NPCs. But the lower frequency source players get sucked into this as well. So you see more wacky behavior, and that's really where, what we're kind of seeing here, people being wacky and goofy. And I'm using nice words, to be quite honest, because I could, really just say they're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That's really what I'm saying. I could be more mean, I guess is what I'm saying. But that's neither here nor there. I just don't want to be around those kind of people, NPCs or source players. That's it. I don't want them in my sphere in any way, shape, or form, if I don't have to have them there. So that's it. My point is observe behavior. I remember when I was a member still in Judy's site, because this was something I talked with somebody about last night. And when I was still a member in Judy's site and she had the chat open, then people were arguing with each other and being combative. They were being combative with me. I wasn't even like doing anything to people. Now, don't get me wrong. If you come at me, I'm gonna come back at you. There's no question. And I've always been frank and upfront about that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. But, people would just come out the sides of their mouth with some like really crazy stuff. And like, yo, what is your problem? What is your actual problem? So, whatever. I don't know what people actually, I don't know what their actual problem with me is. Like, an NPC is easy to figure out, but why a source player has a problem with me, I'll never know. I just don't know. But people are not all well, and that's really it. My point is that people were fighting back then in 2017, 2018, 2019. They were fighting with each other all the time. Like, they don't learn. They're like children. So the fact that I'm hearing now that Judy shut down her chat again, recently, because people were being combative with, people were also trying to figure out when the reset was going to happen, and they were doing all kinds of numerology, confusing people. You know what I mean? Like, she's told, but whatever. This is what I'm saying. Like, sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing, because it's like the internet. Everybody has access to it, and then you get to see people's mental, their capacity and their mental health or lack thereof. You really get to see it, and then you have to just say, okay, okay. People have always kind of been catty and in that chat, and I don't get it. but you know, Judy's got to do what Judy's got to do for her site, and she has rules, and people not abiding by those rules, well, I guess they get kicked out. That's it. But they're not going to find refuge here. They are not, and that's that. So yeah. The final thing, so basically what I'm saying is, if you observe like crazy, goofy, wacky, unhinged behavior with source players and NPCs, I have to say, like, I was trying to figure out why I was excited, and I was like, is this like schadenfreude? Because I see things on TikTok, I see downfalls, I should say. I see it more with celebrities. This is like how, because I've been following certain like celebrity things, and when I see a downfall come, I kind of get excited, and not for the reason like, ah ha ha ha, like some wealthy person got what's coming to them, like P. Diddy. But I see it more as, I'm excited because these events are starting to take place. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that is, to me, they're like little harbingers of what's to come. So that means we are getting closer to things. And eventually we are going to be without all these lower frequency people. That's where I am. That's why I get excited. That's really what it is. I had to think about that today, you know, that people are getting their comeuppance, I should say, and the lower frequencies are kind of weeding themselves out. You know, it's very interesting. It's very interesting. So that's what I'm trying to say is, like, instead of getting worried about the kind of wacky behavior that you might see, just say, okay, this is just another confirmation that things are getting closer, that, you know, stuff is going as it's planned, as it's scheduled, and we're on schedule, and things are happening, and you know that you are taking care of you and anybody that's in your immediate circle to the best that you can. And that's it. That's all I'm really wanting to say as far as this. And thank you again. Be well. Till the next video. Bye.